Hi, in today's episode we present the Ł34 loader of Huta Stalowa Wola. Produced for almost 24 years, it was an inseparable landscape element of Polish mines, gravel pits and construction sites. Do you want to feel the atmosphere of communism? Well, let's go! As usual, some facts first. Ł34 is the first Polish wheel loader produced from 1977 to 2000. The presented machine is 1977. Ł34 was entirely designed by Polish engineers from the Communistic Research and Development Center. It had very rich equipment at its disposal, from spoons of various types to grabs, saws for woods and winches. Ł34 was an export hit of the Polish communist government. Almost 20,000 units were produced and the presented copy has a nameplate in Russian language. Ł34B, intended for quarries, had additional reinforcement of the cabin and front wheel fenders. A version for army Ł34 was also produced equipped with military painting, a rear drum winch and a crocodile bucket. Goal of my episode is to create the first full material about Ł34. These machines are slowly dying out and are becoming a rare sight. And what not to say about them, they contributed to the development of our country and were created entirely by Poles. I would like the next generation to have a reminder of them in the form of this recording. For people completely unrelated to the construction machinery industry, the Ł34 is not an excavator. This is a front-end loader whose task is to move and store bulk materials, which is done with this bucket here. Its capacity is 3.4 cubic meters. The presented copy spent most of its life in a sand mine. It is a wheel loader that steers using a pivot located in the middle of the vehicle. The weight of the Ł34 is 18 tons. Two cylinders shown here are used to lift the bucket, with a 480-liter fuel tank in between. It is built in such a way that we can walk on it during service activities or ongoing operation of the machine. The drive of the Ł34 is carried out on four wheels. We have a rigid axle in the front. It is not sprung in any way. At the back we have a swing axle. I'm not sure that it's visible, but it's on a kind of bearing. This allows the rear axle to tilt. However, the Ł34 does not have suspension as such. One of the disadvantages of the drive is the lack of a differential lock. So it could mean that if we get stuck in mud, one of the wheels will just spin, one will stand still and we may just have trouble leaving. Here we have an air tank that is filled here by... Excuse me, here's the valve, the compressor is on the other side. However, with this valve, this hose, we can inflate the wheels or simply use compressed air. The air filter is located here. We have an alternator here, and I saw a turbo here somewhere. Okay, turbo is here. It's located in front of the engine. And now we are going here. Here we have a huge radiator, which is responsible for preventing the engine from overheating. We also see it from this perspective. Radiator, there's an air compressor here. Here is the fuel filters. Here's the fuel pump. And the exhaust system goes through there. We have a huge exhaust here. I think I've seen it in auta. Here you are. Here we have the drivetrain. It's called hydraulic torque converter. Something like that, and that's what drives the front and the rear axles. And here we see the drive shaft. There is a brake on the drive shaft. We would say handbrake or service brake. It just blocks the shaft and the machine does not move. Regular brakes are disc brakes. Maybe you can see it here. Dry disc brakes After years, unfortunately, the effectiveness of this braking system is not the best. If you want to get to the engine, we have the two ways to do this. Or we lift the entire lid, which is not easy task for one person, or we can lift this engine hatch. Let's try the second way. And here we see the engine from above. The previously discussed cooler. Here's the valve cover. We have a turbo here. This is how it looks. Engine is an SW680 license from British Leyland. It was also used in Autosan, in ENG various types, in the Bison Harvester, in the Goździk Howitzers. The power of this engine is 240 horsepower and the capacity is 11 liters. If we want to let Ł34 breathe on the hot days, we can use this support. And the nameplate, not hard to decode, 1977 year of production. Engine code SW680 59/1, power is probably 220 horses. And here we have markings that unfortunately are not understandable to me. 3.4, that's the capacity of spoon, like I said. 7,000, I have to ask what's going on. And here we have a carb wave of 18.5 tons made in Poland. And here we have a second nameplate for someone who understands Russian to decode. Please let me know in the comments, maybe someone knows what is written here. Here you can see hydraulic cylinders that lift the entire bucket arm on the both sides of Ł34. And more cylinders are here, they are responsible for turning the Ł34. The first is here and the second is there. And here we have hydraulic distributor, here we have rods, here's the steering system, and here's the hydraulic lines. And there is the power switch. Do you recognize the handles? Size of Ł34 tires is something around 23.5, which is probably the number of inches. And here is a curiosity, Stomil, Polish tire factory. In the rear section of the vehicle we have a course of weight that allows for a better balance of the machine and light. And a hook handle, it's more like a rope grip. To get behind the wheel we have to climb this ladder and we also have an additional handle. It's not a difficult task. It comes in quite comfortably. Okay, let's go to the cabin. And what do we have here? First thing that catches my eyes is that we don't have a clutch. In Ł34 gears enter without the clutch, which I will tell you about in a moment. Steering wheels is known also from other Polish communist vehicles. Here we have first gear and second gear, driving backwards and forwards. Second lever is changing from road and off-road running. In total we have 4 forward gears, 4 reverse gears, of which 2 are road and 2 off-road. On the lower gear the Ł34 can go from 0 to 7 km per hour, while on the road from 0 to 40 km per hour. And this is bucket control lever. It's hard for me to say what was here, but yes, the temperature of the fluid. tachometer, air system pressure, battery charging, fuel tank. It's probably all not working. Oil temperature maybe. Zobacz. Look, heating, blower on the windows, wiper. Wycieraczka. Wiper again. Warning lights. Światła ostrzegawcze. Warning. The starter motor must not run for more than 10 seconds. Wait at least 30 seconds before turning it on again. Rear headlight, starter, ignition switch. And here I have no idea. Fire extinguisher, brake, gas. Here we have a turn signal, and here such a gadget which indicate whether we are going perfectly straight or not. And here fuses, relays. And here is more interesting stuff. This is such a seat. It was probably for a passenger. You know, the operator, the driver is coming in a moment. They have to drive somewhere together. So here this was the sitting area, and I guess you could keep your tools there too. Rear wiper, front wiper, mirrors, a lamp. And it was probably the heater for the windshield. Visibility is quite good. I guess that wasn't a problem at all. And here I will show you how the operator could cool down the cabin a bit on the hot days. We have a latch here, see. Simple but brilliant. Okay, let's try to start this machine. Dobra. I will go down to show you how everything works here. This machine likes to smoke sometimes. I specially record without a microphone so you can get an idea what the sound is here. I'm going to try to drive it a bit and see if I can. Okay, here we put the gear. There was a characteristic jerk. Let's raise the bucket a little. Maybe I will put it in neutral gear. Dobra, i to będzie do góry całość. Okay, this will be up the whole thing now. Widzicie? Fajnie, co? What do you think now? If you want to spill something, we do it like this. Okay, but we have nothing, so we lower down bucket. Dobra. Okay, a little for the sake of good aesthetics. We straighten what we are driving. We have a gear, we can go. Why it's so slow? Okay, it will be faster now. Well, when we turn, we do such a move. O, ale frajda, how cool! Dobra. Okay. Dobra. Okay. i w drugą. Zobaczcie, jak tu blisko jest. Alright, and now the view from the outside. Let me tell you that driving this toy was an interesting experience. It was my first time driving something this big. I feel the weight of this vehicle, I feel that it has power. We do a little summary. User's opinion is that the machine is patient. No one paid much attention to the Ł34, but it always served bravely. Better, worse, but served. Had no major fault. And also the fact worth emphasizing, which was given to me by the user, is that this machine is economical in the case of not intense use. Maintenance costs are low, fuel consumption is relatively small, defects occurred rarely. A lot of oil leaks. Unfortunately, this is the standard in Ł34 and no one pays much attention to them. As of today, the machine has already finished its paid work. You can believe it or not, but it's simply used as such equipment for the garden, to take care of the garden plot. It just wasn't worth selling, like the owner says. And now bravely serves on a well-deserved retirement, where it rests a bit, but it's also useful in many ways. Please let me know in the comments what you think about these types of episodes. My mission is to popularize the automotive industry regardless of its face. Here it has the face of a bit of communism, a bit of heavy workhorse. I would like the next generation of Poles to realize from this movie that we also produced something that our country, despite the fact that it was tormented by socialism, was also able to be manufacturer. And this machine, despite the fact that we didn't have many such models, was a success. Thank you so much for watching me. If you like it, subscribe, thumbs up, and I'm looking for new interesting machines for you. And let's go! Take care and high five!